In a remote savanna few dare to enter, where wind sings through golden grass and silence stretches between predator and prey, there exists a ritual older than memory. It's not passed down by man, but by hooves and paws, instinct and understanding. It begins not with violence, but with offering. Antelope, the prey, leave food for hyenas, the predators. At first glance, it defies nature. Why would the hunted feed the hunter? But this tradition isn't rooted in fear. It's woven from something far deeper: balance. Every year after the first rains, herds gather near a sacred grove, where no blood has ever been spilled. The oldest antelope, with scars and wisdom in their eyes, approach this place with quiet purpose. On this day, they do not run. They carry bundles of berries, roots, saltrich grass in their mouths, and leave them gently on flat stones beneath a dead baobab tree. There's a profound stillness here. The sun-dappled clearing seems to hold its breath. Hidden nearby, hyenas wait, not with snarls or lunges, but stillness, as if bound by law. They approach only after the antelope depart. No chase, no attack. They eat the offering and vanish back into the thickets. Hyenas are scavengers and hunters, known for their scavenging habits and cunning hunting tactics. Their diet consists of a wide variety of prey, including ungulates, reptiles, birds, and their eggs, as well as carrion. They're highly adaptable and often prey on livestock in close proximity to humans. Hyenas have a reputation for being ruthless and aggressive, and despite being closely related to cats, they exhibit more similarities to pigs in terms of their social structure and behavior. Hyenas live in groups called clans, which can consist of up to 80 to 100 members. Clans are made up of related females and their cubs, as well as a few adult males. The females are highly territorial and will defend their clan's territory against rivals. Males may leave their clan to join another or become nomadic. Hyenas communicate with each other through a variety of vocalizations, including whistles, barks, and growls. Their signature laugh-like sound is produced by females and is thought to be used for communication and to reinforce social bonds within the clan. Antelope, on the other hand, are herbivorous mammals that typically inhabit grasslands and savannas. They are known for their speed and agility and are often preyed upon by predators such as lions, cheetahs, and hyenas. Some species of antelope are highly endangered, while others are considered to be of least concern. In terms of conservation status, antelopes play an important role in maintaining the balance of their ecosystems. They are a vital food source for many predators, and their grazing habits help to control vegetation in their habitats. Humans also hunt antelopes for their meat and hides, and some species are threatened by habitat loss due to human activity. Conservation efforts are underway to protect endangered species and their habitats, but the future of some antelopes remains uncertain. Now, let's talk about the ritual itself. It takes place once a year during the dry season, when the antelope are driven to desperation by lack of food and water. It's the oldest and wisest antelope, led by a matriarch known as the shepherdess, travel to a sacred grove where they lay down their burdens. This grove is located near a waterhole and is surrounded by tall trees that provide shade and protection. At the edge of the grove, there is a large flat stone monolith that serves as a symbol of the antelope's connection to their ancestors and the spirits of the land. Upon arriving at the grove, the female antelopes gather around the monolith and begin to sing a mournful song that expresses their sorrow and suffering. Their voices echo through the trees, carrying their pain and desperation to the spirits of the land. The song continues until the sun reaches its zenith and the heat is at its most intense. At this point, the shepherding stops singing and turns to face the east, where she raises her head and sniffs the air. She remains motionless for several minutes, listening intently to the sounds of the wind and the birds. Suddenly, she lets out a loud bark that startles the other antelope. Then she drops to her knees and lowers her head to the ground. The other antelopes follow her lead and lie down, burying their heads in the sand. They remain in this position, completely still, until the sun begins to set. As the light fades, the shepherding rises and walks slowly to the center of the grove. There, she begins to dig a small hole in the ground using her hooves. She then places a small pile of dirt over the hole and shapes it into a mound. This mound represents the body of an ancestral antelope that is said to have first established the ritual many years ago. Having completed her task, the shepherding returns to her place among the other antelopes, and they all lie down once again, waiting for the night to pass. When the moon is high in the sky, a group of hyenas approaches the grove. They are led by a large male, known as the chieftain, who is the dominant member of his clan. The hyenas had followed the antelope migration for days, living off the scraps they could find along the way. Now sensing the presence of the antelopes they had gathered at the grove, the hyenas knew they had found a source of food that would sustain them through the night. As the hyenas approached the grove, they could hear the mournful song of the antelopes. Despite their hunger, the hyenas felt a sense of awe and respect for the antelope and their ritual. The chieftain raised his head and howled at the moon, acknowledging the power of the antelopes and their connection to the spirits of the land. Then he signaled to the other hyenas to back away from the grove and wait patiently until the antelopes had finished their ritual. Once the antelopes had finished their ritual and were lying still, the hyenas advanced cautiously into the grove. The chieftain approached the mound of dirt that symbolized the body of the ancestral antelope. He sniffed at the air and circled the mound several times before finally digging up a small portion of the dirt and eating it. The other hyenas followed his lead, each taking a small amount of dirt to eat. After finishing their share of the sacred dirt, the hyenas approached the antelopes and began to eat them. The antelopes did not resist, and the hyenas did not try to chase or hunt them. The kill was quick and painless, and the hyenas left the bodies of the antelopes untouched until the spirits of the land had had their fill. This ritual has been going on for hundreds or even thousands of years, and it is said that no hyena has ever strayed from the rules. If a hyena attacks an antelope outside of the grove or refuses to leave the grove after the antelopes have finished their ritual, it is banished from the clan and must live the rest of its life alone. Similarly, if an antelope tries to flee the grove or refuses to participate in the ritual, it is shunned by the other antelopes and must live in isolation. The hyenas and antelopes are sworn enemies, yet they coexist in harmony. Each respects the power and dignity of the other, and neither seeks to destroy the other. The ritual is a testament to the power of balance and the importance of respecting one's enemies. It is a reminder that even in the midst of conflict, there is always room for peace and understanding. But why do they do this? No one knows for sure, but some believe it's because they lived in a time when death ruled every day. Antelope were hunted to desperation. Hyenas in their hunger turned on one another. The balance of the wild began to collapse, and a strange thing happened. A dying antelope left its food behind rather than flee. The hyena spared it. What began as coincidence became a pact silently honored. Over generations, this behavior formed a pattern. It's never forced. Only certain herds do it. Only certain hyenas respect it. But those who have seen it know it's real. Nature, as always, chose survival through peace, not submission, but sacred exchange. Even scientists are baffled. These aren't tamed animals. There are no leashes, no fences. It's just instinct and a memory that moves through generations without words. Some call it ritual. Others say it's respect born from struggle. But every year it happens again. Without cameras, without crowds. Silent ceremony under an open sky. Perhaps it teaches something we've forgotten, that even in the most brutal corners of life, peace is not weakness. If this story moved you, and you believe nature still holds unspoken truths and ancient understandings, then please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. The forgotten path where the old world still whispers. Thank you for watching.